Aristotle was a 4th century BCE Greek philosopher who sought to understand the world through reason, observation, and systematic classification. Unlike his teacher Plato, who emphasized abstract ideals, he focused more on the concrete world. Aristotle made important contributions to the development of the science of logic. A central feature of his philosophy is the theory of the 10 categories. These are 10 fundamental ways in which a thing can be described: substance, quantity, quality, relation, place, time, position, state, action, and affection. Aristotle described the world as made up of substances that change according to 4 causes: material, formal, efficient, and final. He believed everything in nature has a purpose, or final cause. In ethics, Aristotle focused on how we can achieve happiness, or human flourishing, through practicing virtue. He believed the good life means living virtuously and in balance between excess and deficiency. His ideas helped shape Western science, logic, ethics, and politics for centuries. George Boole was an English mathematician and logician who laid the groundwork for modern logic by reducing logical reasoning to algebraic operations. His Boolean algebra became a cornerstone of computer science. The English thinker viewed logic not as psychology, but as a formal mathematical system. He replaced Aristotelian logic with symbolic expressions that manipulate truth values systematically. His work bridged philosophy and mathematics, enabling formal logic and influencing later developments in symbolic logic and artificial intelligence. Gottlob Frege was a German philosopher who revolutionized logic and helped lay the foundations for modern analytic philosophy. He developed a formal system that includes both propositional logic and predicate logic with relations. He distinguished the sense from the reference of a linguistic expression. The German thinker believed that meaning is objective and that mathematics could be grounded in logic, a project known as logicism. His notation and ideas influenced thinkers like Russell and Wittgenstein. Though underappreciated in his lifetime, Frege's contributions helped reshape philosophy of language and logic, establishing precision and clarity as key philosophical virtues. Giuseppe Peano was an Italian mathematician and logician who formalized the foundations of arithmetic with his Peano axioms, which define natural numbers using basic logical rules and symbols. The Italian mathematician emphasized clarity in mathematical language and notation, seeking a universal language for mathematics. His work aimed to unify all known math symbolically. His contributions helped shift mathematics from intuition to formal systems. Peano's ideas influenced several analytic philosophers, such as Bertrand Russell, and the broader development of mathematical logic. Alfred North Whitehead was a British philosopher and logician who co-authored Principia Mathematica with Bertrand Russell, a landmark in logic and the formalization of mathematics. Later, Whitehead turned to metaphysics, developing process philosophy, where reality is seen as consisting of dynamic events rather than static substances. He viewed the universe as fundamentally relational and evolving. Whitehead's fusion of science, metaphysics, and logic offered a holistic vision of reality. His work inspired thinkers in philosophy, theology, and systems theory. David Hilbert was a German mathematician and logician who sought to place all of mathematics on solid, formal foundations. His Hilbert program aimed to reduce mathematics to a finite set of axioms and prove its consistency using purely logical methods. The German thinker emphasized formalism, mathematics as a game of symbol manipulation, independent of meaning. He believed in the power of rigorous proofs and symbolic logic to eliminate ambiguity. Though Gödel's incompleteness theorems challenged Hilbert's vision, his program helped shape 20th century logic, computer science, and proof theory. His optimism in reason remains a lasting philosophical legacy. Bertrand Russell was a 20th century British philosopher known for his work in logic, language, and analytic philosophy. He aimed to bring clarity to philosophy by applying the precision of mathematics and symbolic logic. With Alfred North Whitehead, he co-authored Principia Mathematica, attempting to ground all math in logic. Russell believed that many traditional philosophical problems arose from misuse of language. He developed the theory of descriptions to resolve puzzles about meaning and reference, shaping modern philosophy of language. He also emphasized empirical evidence and skepticism, aligning with the scientific worldview. Outside of logic, Russell was a passionate advocate for peace, education, and reason. He criticized dogma, whether religious or political, and championed free thought. His blend of rigorous analysis and public activism made him one of the most influential thinkers of the 20th century. Clarence Irving Lewis was an American philosopher and logician who helped develop modal logic, the logic of necessity and possibility. One of his most influential ideas was conceptual pragmatism. He argued that knowledge is rooted in experience but structured by our choices of conceptual schemes. These schemes are not dictated by nature, but are human-made tools for navigating reality. He urged us to be consistent in valuation, thought, and action, and believed that the good life is the highest good. His work helped lay the foundations for later developments in modal logic, pragmatism, and the philosophy of language. Alfred Tarski was a Polish-American logician and mathematician. His perhaps most influential idea was the semantic theory of truth, which can be interpreted as a kind of correspondence theory. According to Tarski, a theory of truth is adequate only if it entails every instance of the schema P is true if and only if P. Tarski stressed the need to separate object language, the language being studied, from meta-language, the language used to talk about the object language. This distinction helped avoid paradoxes like the liar paradox and made it possible to define truth rigorously for formal systems. His work had a deep impact on logic, mathematics, and the philosophy of language, and his ideas remain foundational in modern formal semantics and theories of meaning. Kurt Gödel was a groundbreaking Austro-Hungarian logician renowned for his two incompleteness theorems, which revolutionized logic and mathematics. Let S be a formal system that encompasses basic arithmetic. Then the first incompleteness theorem states that if S is consistent, there is a sentence that is neither provable nor refutable in S. The second incompleteness theorem states that if S is consistent, then the consistency of S cannot be proven within S. These results challenged the formalist and intuitionist schools of thought prevalent at the times and pointed toward mathematical Platonism. The famous logician was an advocate for mathematical Platonism, believing that mathematical objects and concepts exist independently of human minds and are discovered, not created. Gödel's thinking has had a profound impact on philosophy, mathematics, and logic.